So the last chapter of the book, chapter 7, serenity. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience and of a more than ordinary knowledge of the laws and operations of thought. सो जो अल्टीमेट हमारा गोल है या जो अल्टीमेट विजडम का लेसन जो हमें विच विल बेसिकली ensure that yes, we are on the right track, or we've got that lesson, is that we will be at that place where we are at ease with what is as it is. You do not want to change a thing. You do not want to comment on anything. And you are in that state of calmness. And that state of calmness does come when you are no more in the body. Okay. But our whole effort is to get to that state of that ease with what is as it is, and to be absolutely at peace and totally serene, totally calm in this current life. Because a lot of times जो भी हो रहा होता है ना, सारा time, and a lot of times, I won't say सारा time, but yeah, a lot of times there are too many questions in our mind. Okay. And somehow the mind is so busy and so engrossed in all, answering all those questions, or asking all those questions, seeking answers for all those questions, that वो एक बिल्कुल ही different state हो जाती है. But in that true state of calmness, and in that true state of at being at ease with what is as it is, one of the strongest connections is related with your questions in life. So जैसे जैसे लाइफ में हमारे क्वेश्चंस सॉल्व होते जाएंगे, या हमें आंसर्स मिलते जाएंगे, या हमारे क्वेश्चंस एक्चुअली डिसअपियर होने शुरू हो जाएंगे हमारी लाइफ से, दैट्स वेयर वी आर accepting what is as it is, because then there is no question about anything, and there is no question then why me or why not me. So जहां पे हम उस स्टेट ऑफ पीस पे होंगे, उस स्टेट ऑफ सेरेनिटी पे होंगे, उस स्टेट ऑफ एट ईज पे होंगे, questions in our life will either start getting answered automatically, or these questions will not occupy any space in our reality, and we won't be bothered by those questions. And that is actually a time where we will be in that trust and faith in the process. Yes. And then that is a time where you've moved from that acknowledgement to acceptance to surrender. And that surrender is not a negative word, it's a very positive word, where you accept it as it is with no questions and no judgment. A man becomes calm in the measure that he understands himself as a thought-evolved being. For such knowledge necessitates the understanding of others as the result of thought. And as he develops a right understanding and sees ever more clearly the internal relationship of things by the action of cause and effect, he ceases to fuss, fume, worry, and grieve. He remains poised, steadfast, and serene. So that right understanding develop करने के लिए हम लोगों को अपने थॉट्स की पावर को समझ के उसको हर एक सिचुएशन में यूज करना है, because it's, that seed of that thought is actually going to create each and everything in this, existing reality of yours here on planet Earth. Nothing else creates anything. It's just the thought, and how well you work with that thought, whatever is that thought. Because जो उस thought का fruit है, अगर आपने उस thought को एक जगह दी है, attention दिया है, पानी दिया है, that will manifest in your reality, and nobody can change that. But what you can do is work with your thoughts, decide which thoughts you want to nurture, decide which thoughts you want to, weed out, decide which thoughts you want to actually water and take with you. And that's a constant, working. Like it's like a, hourly check on yourself. हर घंटे में check करो अपने आप को, मैंने इस एक घंटे में कोई नेगेटिव थॉट तो नहीं किया, मैंने कोई नेगेटिव थॉट का सीड तो नहीं डाल दिया. That's a part of being consciously aware. So, you need to be your own reminder after, say, every 1 hour, 2 hour, check. After every 1 or 2 hour, have that internal reminder to check your state of mind. Am I in the positive zone or am I in the negative zone? Because जितना हम अपने आप से या जितना हम अपने माइंड के साथ कॉन्शियसली बिहेव करते हैं, उतना हमारी प्रैक्टिस पक्की होती है. See, because what happens is this, something happens and then you check yourself that, oh no, I'm going in a negative zone, because that's coming from the outside influence. So there's like an outside test you're doing, and that is resulting into a trigger, which is now being, decoded by you ki I'm going in the negative zone. But if you start working with yourself before anything that is, from the external that is coming, it's like a proactive approach कि rather than बाहर से कोई मैं ऐसी सिचुएशन आए जहां मैं अपने आप को थॉट पे चेक करूं, मैं हर 2 घंटे बाद वैसे ही अपनी थॉट चेक कर लूं. And it hardly takes what, a minute or 2 minutes. It's like they say, when you're sitting in your job, if you have a sitting job and you're sitting on a seat, it's very important to get up every 1 hour and do some flexes, and, so that your body does not get to that posture, and, it's a state of where the blood flows nicely. That's the same with your thought. After every 1 hour, 2 hour, check. Do a self check all the time. हर 1 घंटे 2 घंटे में मैं नेगेटिव में तो नहीं गया, मेरी थॉट प्रोसेस ठीक है, व्हाट्स माय स्टेट ऑफ माइंड, ओके गुड, कैरी ऑन. अभी हम वेट कर रहे हैं बाहर से कोई आने की, ठीक है, दैट्स आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट. बट देन वंस वी आर मोर अवेयर ऑफ कि एक्सटर्नल को मैं जज कर सकता हूँ इन टर्म्स ऑफ माय थॉट ऑफ चेकिंग वेदर आई एम इन द पॉजिटिव जोन और द नेगेटिव जोन. But I can also take a proactive approach every 1 hour, 2 hour, and do that flex check for my mind. Am I in the positive zone or am I in the negative zone? And this last 1 or 2 hours, did I slip into the negativity? And just, work with yourself accordingly. Then you will be in a much more better state of being consciously aware. Because then you're working on your own self without any external help. And that's basically a very important step in realizing your own self. And that is the self-realization. To, constantly work on your own self every 1 hour, 2 hour कि भैया मेरा क्या thought process चल रहा है और मैं किस zone में हूँ. And what is the trigger that happened अगर मैं कहीं negative में गया हूँ. The calm man, having learned how to govern himself, knows how to adapt himself to others, and they in turn reverence his spiritual strength. They feel that they can learn from him and rely upon him. The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater is his success, his influence, his power for good. Even the ordinary trader will find his business prosperity increase as he develops a greater self-control and equanimity. For people will always prefer to deal with a man whose demeanor is equitable. So people will rely more upon that person who has worked upon his own self and has, gathered that spiritual strength of working with his own thought and his state of mind. And that's what people will actually, you will attract. So once you are working with yourself and you're trying to maintain that state of positive or the state of above the line feelings, so that's the state you're going to be predominantly as a conscious effort of yours. So that means your frequency is going to be of that specific positive zone or above the line feelings. Accordingly, जो भी आपके circumstances भी आप manifest कर रहे हो, you will be attracting only those circumstances which are there on that frequency. That's how the law of attraction is going to actually work in your life. So जब हमने अपने आप को उस पॉजिटिव जोन में रखा है, उस वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसी पे रखा है, and that's actually what is that, whatever is coming into our space, we will be attracting whatever frequency we are on. So अगर हमने उसको हर घंटे 2 घंटे में चेक करके अपने आप पे कॉन्स्टेंटली वर्क करके अपनी फ्रीक्वेंसी एक स्पेसिफिक वाइब्रेशनल फ्रीक्वेंसी मेंटेन की हुई है, that's exactly what we are going to attract in our life, and that's going to pull a lot of people who would like to actually work with you, because that's the positivity overflowing, because that's where you have been working on your own self in order to empower your own self to be that conscious, awareness, and consciously aware and consciously evolved aware being. The strong, calm man is always loved and revered. He is like a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land or a sheltering rock in a storm. Who does not love a tranquil heart, a sweet-tempered, balanced life? It does not matter whether it rains or shines, or what changes come to those who possess these blessings, for they are always serene and calm. The exquisite poise of character that we call serenity is the last lesson of culture. कितने ऐसे लोग हम इनकाउंटर करते हैं अपनी डे टू डे में, they have that, so much of that positivity is, visible. I mean, in fact, it's not visible. It's like you can feel that positivity in that person. And, you have that feeling that you want to be close to this person no matter what. चाहे आप उसको जानते हो, चाहे आप नहीं जानते हो. बट उसकी पॉजिटिविटी इतनी स्ट्रांग है, या उसका ऑरा या उसकी ऑरिक एनर्जी फील इतनी स्ट्रांग है, that is actually making you calmer. And people actually look forward to those people. So those people who worked on themselves, on their, being consciously aware, on working with their positive energy and their positive aura, they will attract a lot of people, because people would, cherish being around them, because that actually calms them. It happens in a lot of times. I don't know. Yes, must have definitely happened with everybody sometime or other. कई जगहों में ऐसी पीस होती है that you just go there, and जो भी आपके माइंड में चल रहा होता है, you just absolutely go blank. You just want to be in that place because you are so comfortable, so calm, and you're in that state of such ease that you do not want to do anything, just be there. It can be a religious place, it can be in somebody's company, it can be the place of your guru or a very empowered being, anything. But वो जो जगह का ऑरा होता है, it's so serene, And it's so soothing for you at that time that you do not want to be anywhere else other than that. And वहां पे आप घंटा भी बैठ जाओगे ना, आपको टाइम का पता ही नहीं लगेगा. It's like time is just flowing. You are enjoying each and every minute and each and every second of it. और वो टाइम का आपको पता ही नहीं लगेगा कि कितना टाइम हो गया. एंड यू सडनली व्हेन यू सी योर क्लॉक, अच्छा यार घंटा हो गया, ऐसे लगा भी तो मैं 5 मिनट पहले तो आया था. So that's the kind of state you can actually be. And that's actually a state of those people who work on themselves in terms of you know being at ease with what is as it is. It is the flowering of life, the fruitage of the soul. It is precious as wisdom, more desirable than fine gold. How insignificant mere money seeking looks in comparison with a serene life. A life that dwells in the ocean of truth beneath the waves, beyond the reach of the tempest, in the eternal calm. How many people we know who sour their lives, who ruin all that is sweet and beautiful by explosive tempers, who destroy their poise of character and make bad blood. It is a question whether the great majority of people do not ruin their lives and mar their happiness by lack of self-control. How people we meet in life who were well balanced, who had that exquisite poise which is characteristic of the finished character. So who we are is nothing but our own character. And it's very easy. I mean, you have examples and you see people all around. It's very easy to notice that, yes, he's lost his temper. I'm not trying to say that we need to judge people, but yeah, you can make out whether that person is at ease or not at ease. It's not necessary that you have to pass a judgment on it, but that you can always see other people and check, okay, am I working on my own self? Because if I'm not, probably what I'm seeing outside might be into my creation. सो जो भी आपके सामने कुछ भी एक्सपीरियंस हो रहा है ना, चाहे वो एक्सटर्नल किसी बंदे का भी हो रहा है, वो भी किसी कारण से ही हो रहा होगा. सो ऑलवेज गो विद इन whatever is happening outside of you. Try to always go within. Where is it? What is inside me that is I'm seeing this, or what is it that I need to learn from it? Because जब तक हम अपने आप पे, अपने इमोशंस पे, अपने स्टेट ऑफ बीइंग पे पूरी तरह से काम नहीं करेंगे in terms of being consciously aware of what is happening and how is it that my mind and my entire body is behaving in that, because that is the state we want to be, and we want to be in that state of being consciously aware so that we are able to take that right call and not fall in the flow of whatever is going. And फिर वो ट्रेन से दूसरी ट्रेन और पता ही नहीं कहाँ से शुरू हो. तो अगर आपके आउटसाइड में भी जब आपको लगता है देयर आर पीपल who lost their temper, and you're seeing people who abusing people or whatever is it that is outside of you, it's a very strong reminder again to go within and check what is it that I need to learn. Because not necessarily all experiences in your life would be involving you yourself. Because a lot of times when you go for a movie and you watch a scene on that cinema screen, you learn something, and that is where you relate yourself to it. So anything that is happening outside is a strong reminder always for us to, it's a reminder which says, be consciously aware and go within to check कि क्यों हो रहा है और मुझे इससे क्या सीखना है. Yes, humanity surges with uncontrolled passion, is tumultuous with ungoverned grief, is blown about by anxiety and doubt. Only the wise man, only he whose thoughts are controlled and purified, makes the wind and the storms of the soul obey him. And what are we meaning here by your thoughts being controlled and purified? Is your thoughts being channelized and your thoughts being analyzed from the premise of being consciously aware. Because agar wo uncontrolled hai, and there is nothing that is deciding कि किस डायरेक्शन में है, कोई कुछ नहीं है. It's something which is unconscious. It's just happening by its own self. There is no conscious being behind it. Because जब तक हम उस state of being consciously aware में नहीं जाएंगे, और वो state of being consciously aware हमें इसलिए है so that we are able to channelize this beautiful mind into the way the soul wants it to behave, or the way the soul wants it to do things and think things for which the mind is very well equipped. So that is basically just getting rid of the ego part. Otherwise mind तो चाहिए, सारी एनालिसिस करना, सब कुछ करना, उसके लिए हमें माइंड चाहिए. बट कॉन्शियसली अवेयर में हम माइंड को चैनलाइज कर रहे हैं, एंड वी आर अवेयर कि हम माइंड के if the mind is going in the right direction, it's like a constant GPRS reminder. When you're traveling from destination A to destination B and somehow you take a wrong route, what does Google do? It says, immediately वो एक नया route बना देता है. Reroute yourself. What is that? That's a constant reminder that, in order to get to where you want to go, you are not on the current path and you need to reroute yourself. And that's the constant reminder we need to give to ourselves. But अगर मैं वो मैप देखूंगा ही नहीं और बस मेरे को पता लगे कि मैं तो इसी डायरेक्शन में सही जा रहा हूँ, what will happen after say 1 or 2 hours? Probably I have to go on the other side and I'm on the other side because I did not bother to check with the map whether I am on track. Because I was just going with the flow, unconscious flow, कुछ नहीं है. So उस स्टेट में अगर हमें अपने आप को कॉन्शियसली अवेयर रखना है, we need to constantly check ourselves rather than wait for what is happening outside to throw things at us. We can be proactive and start working just with our own selves and checking ourselves, or flexing our mind muscles every 1 hour, 2 hours, and checking that state of being or that state of mind where it is. Tempest-tossed souls, where you may be, under whatever conditions you may live, know this. In the oceans of life, the isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shores of your idol awaits your coming. Keep your hands firmly upon the helm of thought. In the core of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does but sleep. Wake him. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace, be still. The end. So self-control is the strength. The right thought and working with that power of that thought is the mastery you're here to do. And the actual result, which will empower you or make you an empowered being, is that calmness or that state of being at ease with what is as it is. Thank you.